morning. In the last classes, we have derived the TDS equations, the first TDS equation and the second TDS equation, and one of the application of the first TDS equation. So today we can go into the two main applications of the second TDS equation. The second TDS equation is given by TDS equal to CPDT minus T into dou V by dou T at P into D. There are two applications. One is the reversible isothermal change of pressure and the other is the reversible adiabatic change of pressure. So we can go into the first application, that is reversible isothermal change of pressure. The first application of the second TDS equation is reversible isothermal change of pressure. So what is the equation here? Since this is an isothermal process, this is a reversible isothermal process, the dt in this equation will goes to 0. So we can write this equation as, in the case of a reversible isothermal process, that is TDS equal to minus T into dou V by dou T at P into D. We have the equation for volume expansivity beta as beta is equal to 1 by V into dou V by dou T at P. So we can replace this quantity by V into beta. Dou V by dou T at P can be replaced by V into beta. So this equation will become TDS equal to minus T beta V into D. For a reversible process, this TDS can be written as dq, that is d bar q, which is equal to minus T beta V into D. So the total heat transfer during a reversible isothermal process is, that is Q, we have to integrate it, equal to minus integral from some Pi to some Pf T beta V into D. You can see that this V and beta, here it is a change of pressure. For many materials, especially for solids and liquids, the change in pressure, a large change in pressure, only cause a small change in the volume and a small change in the beta value. So this too is almost insensitive to the change in pressure, especially for solids and liquids. So we can take this beta V outside of the integration. So we can write Q is equal to minus TV beta into integral Pi to Pf d. This is equal to minus TV beta into Pf minus T. This is the heat transfer. This is the heat transfer during a reversible isothermal process. So what is the peculiarity of Q? If I pressure increases for a certain processes, then Pf minus Pi will be a positive quantity. So, depending upon the sign of beta, you may get positive heat or negative heat here. So, if Pf minus Pi is greater, that we can fix now, let it be greater, that is pressure is increasing at a constant temperature. So, if beta is positive, that is the material is having a positive volume expansivity, then the heat you will get a negative quantity, because this is positive, then you will get heat. The heat transferred is negative, that is the heat is flow out of the system. If beta is negative for certain materials at certain temperature, beta may be negative, that is it is having negative volume expansivity. For such materials, you can see that if pressure is increasing, this is a negative quantity, then negative, positive, that means Q is a positive quantity, that means heat is flowing into the system. So, depending upon the value of or the peculiarity of this beta, whether it is positive or negative, the heat is flowing out of the system if beta is positive, and the heat is flowing into the system if beta is negative. So, in the case of water at 0 degree and 4 degree Celsius, it shows negative volume expansivity. So, such cases, this water will absorb some heat at this temperature, since the volume expansivity is a negative quantity for water at this temperature. So, Q will at that temperature or during any process during that temperature, this water will absorb some heat. That means it is having a negative volume expansivity. So, this is the heat transferred during the reversible isothermal change of pressure. You will get this quantity. This is for water, etc. So, we can also evaluate for the same change of pressure, for this reversible isothermal change of pressure. Then during that process, we can calculate or we can derive an equation for the work done. This is the heat transferred during the process. Similarly, we can calculate the work done during the same process. So, what is the work done? The total work done is given by minus integral PV. So, at constant temperature, this dV can be written as a partial derivative, that is equal to minus integral P into dV can be written as dou V by dou P at constant temperature into dV. This is a partial change, the change of volume with respect to P at constant temperature, since we are dealing with isothermal change. So, the next term dou V by dou T at P into dT will get cancelled, since dt is 0 here. So, we can write for dV, we can replace dV as a partial derivative of this quantity. Like beta, that is volume expansivity, we have isothermal compressibility, that is usually represented by the letter kappa. So, we can just, that looks like K, so we can just written as K. K is equal to minus 1 by V into dou V by dou P at T. So, we can write this equation as W is equal to minus integral P into, so dou V by dou P at T will be minus V into K, that is kappa, that is my P into V into K into P into V into K into dP. This is actually minus, so we will get plus. So, W is equal to PVK into dP. So, as we have told earlier, the change of pressure, the volume and this isothermal compressibility here is also insensitive to the change of pressure. So we can take this V and K outside of the integral. So we will get W is equal to V into K into integral some Pi to Pf dt P into dt. This is equal to V into K into, this is P square by 2, that is 1 by 2 into V into K into Pf square minus Pi square. This is the work done, that is W is equal to 1 by 2 V K, this is the isothermal compressibility into Pf square minus Pi square. So we can calculate the work done during certain processes, and also we have derived the value of Q. So during here also we can see that we can evaluate the work done whether it is positive or negative. Usually for this volume, this isothermal compressibility is a positive quantity. So if there is an increase of pressure, isothermal increase of pressure, then you can see that this work done is a positive one. Then if there is a decrease in pressure, then you will have a work done negative one, negative work done. That means work is done by the system. If there is an increase means work is done on the system. So we have derived some Q. What is Q? In the earlier derivation we have derived Q, and also here we have derived W. Then the difference between these two will actually give the delta U, that is some U2 Ui minus UF. You will get the Ui minus UF here. That is UF minus Ui, that is the change of internal energy. You can calculate this value for some quantities V, K and Pf, Pi. At the same condition you can calculate the Q, heat liberated, using the beta value. So after adding these two you will get some change of internal energy. So that quantity may positive or negative. So if U is greater, that means heat is flowing out of the system. If W is greater means positive work means sometimes you will get a positive work and negative Q. So which quantity is greater, depending upon that the internal energy may increase or decrease. So after summing this quantity, if it is positive, then the internal energy of the system will increase. If this is the total quantity is a negative one, then the internal energy of the system will decrease. So this is one of the application of the second TDS equation, that is reversible isothermal change of pressure. Next we can move to the second application, that is reversible adiabatic change of pressure. That is, the second one is reversible adiabatic change of pressure. So for a reversible adiabatic process, this dq will be 0, that is the TDS will goes to 0. So we can write this equation as Cp dt is equal to T into dou V by dou T at P into dt. That is dt is equal to 1 by T by Cp into dou V by dou T at P into dt. So here also we can replace this quantity by the adiabatic, the volume expansivity, that is beta, as T by Cp. This can be written as V into beta into d. So the total change of temperature when the system undergoing an adiabatic change change of pressure, this process from an initial condition Pi to a final condition Pf, final pressure Pf, then the temperature will vary from some Ti minus Pf, that is we have to integrate this. This is actually delta T, that is Tf minus Ti. This is actually delta T, which is equal to integral T by Cp into V into beta into dV. So here also, for a large change in pressure, that means if we are increasing the pressure from some 0 atmosphere to some 1000 atmosphere, the temperature change is very small. So we can treat this T as a constant, and also this B also a constant, and volume. These two are almost constant, or there is a small change. There is a very small change during a large change in the pressure. So we can take V and beta outside as we have done earlier. We can write this equation as T, which is equal, that is delta T is equal to TV beta, and also Cp is a constant. For many of the process Cp, many of the substance, Cp is also a constant. So there is only P, integral P here. So we can write as Pf minus Pm. Here also you can see that if there is an increase of pressure, then the temperature may increase or decrease depending upon the value of beta. There is an increase of pressure, there is an increase of pressure, then depending upon the value of beta, the temperature may increase or decrease. So if beta is positive, there will be an increase of temperature. That means for materials having positive volume expansivity, this temperature of the system will increase during a reversible adiabatic process, that if there is a change of pressure. That means if the pressure is increasing. So in the same way, if the pressure is increasing, if beta is negative, that means the temperature of the system will decrease. So this equation is mainly for solid or liquid. That means this volume and beta is having a very small change, usually for solids and liquids. So for solids and liquids, we can use this equation for this adiabatic change of pressure. That is how we can calculate the change of temperature during this particular reversible adiabatic process, and if there is a change in pressure. So these are the two applications of, this is the second application. So these are the two applications of the second TdS equation. That is, first one is the reversible isothermal change of pressure, and the second one is the reversible adiabatic change of pressure. For the first TdS equation, we have the reversible isothermal expansion, and here it is the second TdS equation, and we have two applications. One problem I am leaving to you, that is the third TdS equation. The first TdS equation is when S is a function of T and V. The second TdS equation is for when S is a function of T and P. The third TdS equation will get when S is a function of P and P. So the third TdS equation is TdS equal to Cv into dot T by dot P at constant volume into dP plus Cp into dot T by dot V at constant pressure into dP. This is the third TdS equation. This you have to derive taking S is a function of P and V. Then now we can stop. These are the TdS equation, 3 TdS equations and its applications. Now we can stop. Thank you.